bullish for a coin named Dogelon Mars. I mean, granted, we ain't go to the Mars yet, but we on the moon, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna get that a like. I'm gonna give that a like though. But yeah, tell me what y'all how y'all feel about that. Also, what's up? What else is there? What else is there? We got we got Tom Lee, right? And so boom, we got Tom Lee about to do the business with Mr. Beast. Y'all already know Tom Lee got a huge percentage of Ethereum. I think it's around anywhere between 3 to 5% of the whole total. So like the whole total circulating supply of Ethereum, like Tom Lee got like 5%. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. I feel like that will bring more people into crypto. I feel like that will get Ethereum running. We're built on Ethereum, so once Ethereum really start running, we're going to run with Ethereum, you guys. You know what I mean? And two 2030 is right around the corner. Is right around the corner, but I'll definitely want to see this moon landing. You know what I mean? This will be bullish, sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? Because I like we seen his rocket ships. You know, they pretty much handled themselves. You know, but but yeah, nah, I mean, Tom Lee's like, nah, I mean, he's like a Kage out this joint, man. Like pulling major moves, nah, I mean, all it's going to be a lot of institutional buying now. Like, you feel me? They're going to want to get involved, especially I think they're going to do something with a blockchain, something like that. I don't got all the yeah, like 200 million into Mr. Beast Industries. That chairman type, Tom Lee bets the YouTuber with like 333 million subscribers to become one of the most im- impactful entertainment brand in the world while integrating crypto into new financial services platforms. But I threw that S in there, but still. But yeah, it's going to be good, you guys. Bit Bitmine is the world's Bitmine is the world's largest Ethereum treasury company. Like, it's crazy. Holding 1.17 million of ETH worth 13 billion. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, you guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. You guys, it's gonna be a go. We just gotta, like, stay patient and just, wait our turn. You know. Stack your ETH, stack your Elon, stack your Bitcoin. Definitely stack your Bitcoin. Like, nah, I mean, it's not over. But yeah, that's what I really just want to bring to the table. You know what I mean? We got Elon. We got Elon about to go to the moon, start building cities. Like, nah, I mean, like we dreamt about days about this. Like, All right, so maybe I was a little afraid to go to Mars, but I know y'all want to go to the moon. So shit, I want to go to the moon. That would be dope. Have some ramen on the moon. No, no, a steak on the moon. Yeah, but yeah, you guys. There was there was there was a video on YouTube. There,
2 days. Musk's own assessment? A lunar city could be operational in under 10 years. Mars would take 20. This isn't about abandoning Mars. It's about building the infrastructure to make Mars possible. Every system that has to work on Mars, radiation shielding, closed-loop life support, autonomous construction, fuel production from local materials, can be tested on the Moon with rapid iteration cycles. Fail on the Moon, fix it in weeks. Fail on Mars, wait years. The economics shift too. Each Starship launch to the Moon costs roughly the same as one to Mars, but you get 15 attempts in the time Mars permits one. That means 15 chances to perfect the landing, 15 opportunities to test new equipment, 15 cycles of learning. The Moon becomes a development laboratory running at high speed, while Mars waits for the technology to mature. The city starts with a moon base Alpha, made by starships that will never fly again. Once a starship lands on the Moon, it tips over. The massive fuel tank becomes a pressurized habitat. One ship provides 1,000 cubic meters of living space, roughly equivalent to the entire habitable volume of the International Space Station. No construction required, no assembly.
can't hear nothing.
The vessel that delivered the cargo becomes the structure. When you repurpose the fuel systems
I
for
can't
water
hear nothing.
recycling and air circulation, you add another 1,400 cubic meters. The location matters as much as the design. Shackleton Crater, near the lunar South Pole, offers something rare: perpetual sunlight on the crater rim for solar power, and permanent darkness on the crater floor, where water ice has collected for billions of years. Sunlight for energy, ice for drinking water, breathable oxygen, and rocket fuel. The crater's position provides additional advantages. Communication with Earth remains stable, unlike equatorial sites that lose line of sight during lunar night. The South Pole Aitken Basin, the largest and oldest impact crater on the Moon, lies nearby. It exposes deep lunar crust, offering geological insights impossible to obtain elsewhere. Scientists could study material from the Moon's mantle without drilling kilometers into solid rock. This isn't speculation. Orbital surveys have confirmed the ice. The engineering is straightforward. Heat the regolith, collect the vapor, and split it into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen keeps people alive. The hydrogen and oxygen together make rocket propellant. The Moon has no magnetic field and no atmosphere. Solar radiation and cosmic rays hit the surface unfiltered. Humans can't live in that environment without protection. The solution is beneath your feet. Lunar regolith, the fine dust covering the surface, becomes a shield when you pile it on top of habitats. A few meters of compacted soil blocks most radiation. Some designs place entire structures inside natural lava tubes, volcanic caves that provide ready-made protection. Building underground solves another problem: temperature. The lunar surface swings from 127 degrees Celsius in sunlight to minus 173 degrees Celsius in shadow. Underground, temperatures stay relatively constant. Less energy is needed for heating and cooling. More stable conditions for equipment and human health. Life support on the moon operates as a sealed system. No resupply runs when something breaks. The base must recycle everything: water, air, waste. Advanced filtration systems recover water from humidity, urine, and wastewater. Carbon dioxide scrubbers extract CO2 from exhaled air and convert it back to oxygen. Early food comes from Earth, but hydroponics and aeroponics, growing plants without soil, will eventually provide fresh produce. These systems use 90% less water than traditional farming and grow crops faster in controlled environments. The engineering philosophy? Triple redundancy. Every critical system has two backups. If the primary oxygen generator fails, a secondary unit activates immediately. If that fails, a third. The same applies to water recycling, power generation, and thermal control. In an environment where failure means death, redundancy isn't optional. Power generation follows a similar multi-source approach. Solar panels cover the crater rim, capturing sunlight during the lunar day. But the lunar night lasts 14 Earth days. Batteries alone can't bridge that gap. Nuclear fission reactors, compact versions of terrestrial designs, provide continuous baseline power. The combination ensures the base never goes dark, never loses life support, never experiences a cascade failure from a single point of weakness. Launching construction materials from Earth costs roughly $10,000 per kilogram. Building an entire city that way is financially impossible. The answer? Use what's already there. 3D printers designed for lunar regolith can build structures layer by layer. The regolith gets mixed with binding agents or sintered with focused sunlight, creating solid blocks. Robots handle the dangerous work: excavation, transport, and assembly. Humans focus on supervision and complex tasks that require judgment. The robots work continuously. No sleep shifts, no meal breaks. Autonomous excavators dig trenches for underground tunnels. Construction drones stack sintered blocks into walls. Transport vehicles move materials between work sites. The human crew programs the objectives, monitors progress, and intervenes when unexpected conditions arise. A team of 10 humans can supervise hundreds of machines. Resource extraction follows the same principle. Automated drills bore into shadowed craters. Heating elements warm the regolith. Collection systems capture water vapor. Processing plants separate hydrogen and oxygen. The entire chain runs with minimal human input. The base grows not through human labor, but through managed automation. Some proposals include a lunar space elevator, a cable stretching from the surface to the L1 Lagrange point, 62,000 kilometers above. The moon's weak gravity makes this theoretically possible with existing materials like Kevlar. Solar-powered climbers would transport cargo up and down without rockets, potentially reducing launch costs to $1 per kilogram. The technology exists. The limiting factor is scale, not physics. Technical challenges have engineering solutions. Psychological challenges are harder to solve. The first lunar residents will live in a facility roughly the size of a soccer field. No weather, no natural landscapes, no ability to step outside without a pressure suit. Communication with Earth has a 3-second round-trip delay, enough to make conversation feel stilted. Confinement breeds tension. Small disagreements escalate. Antarctic research stations and submarine crews report similar patterns. Interpersonal conflicts intensify in isolated environments. The lunar base will need dedicated recreational spaces.
I just wanted to throw this in there real quick, but if he builds a rocket on the moon, wouldn't that be a faster trip to Mars because he don't got to fight with Earth's gravity? He has to burn more fuel on Earth than if he like took a shot off of from the moon. Probably get there faster, with the technology we got, because we ain't got no warp speed, or we can't put ourselves in a bubble and like space goes around us. You feel me? But whatever.
Virtual reality systems for mental escape, and regular video contact with family. Selection criteria for lunar residents will mirror those used for long-duration submarine deployments and Antarctic overwintering. Psychological resilience, conflict resolution skills, ability to maintain performance under stress. Technical competence matters, but social compatibility matters more. One person with poor interpersonal skills can destabilize an entire crew. Low gravity creates its own medical issues. Bone density decreases, muscles atrophy. The moon's gravity is 1/6 of Earth's, enough to prevent the severe problems of zero gravity, but not enough to maintain normal human physiology. Exercise regimens, resistance training, and possibly artificial gravity through rotating sections of the habitat will be necessary. A self-sustaining lunar city isn't just preparation for Mars. The technologies developed for survival in an airless, radiation-soaked environment have immediate applications on Earth. Closed-loop water recycling designed for the moon works in drought-stricken regions. Advanced hydroponics developed for lunar agriculture can increase food production in areas with poor soil. Radiation shielding techniques could improve protection for astronauts, high-altitude pilots, and patients undergoing radiation therapy. Remote robotic construction, perfected on the moon, translates to disaster response and infrastructure projects in hazardous environments. The base becomes a test bed for technologies that solve terrestrial problems while preparing humanity for expansion beyond Earth. Musk's timeline. Operational lunar base in 10 years. The first Mars missions are 5 to 7 years after that. The timeline is aggressive, but not impossible. SpaceX already has the heavy lift capability with Starship. The life support technology exists in prototype form. The lunar ice is confirmed. What remains is execution. Landing the first ships, setting up power systems, beginning resource extraction, proving the closed-loop life support works. Each successful step reduces the risk for Mars. Each failure gets corrected quickly because the moon is close. The iteration speed matters more than the destination. You learn faster when you can test monthly instead of once every 2 years. The shift from Mars first to Moon first reveals a pattern in how Musk approaches engineering problems. Optimize for iteration speed. The faster you test, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you solve the hard problems. Mars remains the long-term goal, but the moon becomes the proving ground. If SpaceX can create a self-sustaining settlement 384,000 kilometers from Earth, the same systems will work 225 million kilometers away. The first permanent human settlement beyond Earth won't be built because it's easy. It'll be built because the engineering makes sense and the timeline is achievable. Musk's reversal on the moon isn't a retreat. It's the shortest path forward. The city grows one starship at a time. Each landing adds capacity. Each successful extraction of lunar ice proves the concept. Each month of operation reduces uncertainty about what works and what doesn't. 10 years from now, if the timeline holds, humans will be living permanently on another world. Not visiting, living. The moon stops being a destination and becomes an address. And from that address, Mars becomes reachable.
Chill, y'all. What y'all think? I think this is bullish. Yeah. So let me know what y'all think, man. Thank you, everyone that came out tonight. You know, thank you for locking in with me. But I'm about to get up out of here. All right, I'm about to get up out of here. Um, Free to real. Thank you for locking in with the Dogelon Mars section. And, you know, Dogelon Mars of Pluto, man. Real rap, real rap. This is bullish. This is bullish, you guys. But yeah, go crazy on Twitter. Like this video, subscribe. And y'all already know how this go, man. Y'all already know how this go. Until next time, you guys. Until next time.